cloud computing what it's like to make the move. Video, does cloud make sense for your business? Moving enterprise applications to a cloud computing environment is a growing trend. At a recent Amazon Web Services event in London, some of the company's customers discussed their decisions around moving to the cloud, why they did it, what worked, and their suggestions for organizations planning to follow a similar path. Being conservative has been a huge advantage in our industry until now, said Andrew Brem, Chief Digital Officer at insurance company Aviva. But that isn't going to do for us in the future, he said. Aviva has migrated a large portion of its portfolio to the cloud with us. Data is our lifeblood. The way to win in insurance is to better predict the risk to an individual or asset than your competitors, and that is a science that has been going on for a long time, explained Brem. Even details as apparently trivial as the length of your driveway can help an insurer predict whether you are at greater risk of being burgled, he added. All these data points are utterly available to us, so data for us has become the entire business, said Brem. Using cloud computing services enables the company to move faster. We are very aware that the game of accessing non-traditional data and applying very advanced analytical techniques is not just our own, and the speed with which we can set up systems is a huge source of competitive advantage. Fashion retailer River Island has migrated 90% of its portfolio to the cloud. We're fast fashion, so we're used to adapting constantly, said CIO Doug Gardner. Technology now is deeply embedded in retail, and the pace of change is great, he said. We come from a background of traditional data centers, big iron, mainframes, databases, but we've been rapidly moving towards the cloud. It's enabling us to do things in minutes and days that used to take us months and years. The retailer had previously tried to modernize its systems, but building on top of 15-year-old infrastructure and antiquated ways of working was never going to work, said Gardner. Instead, the retailer decided to invest in cloud infrastructure and updating its processes in order to move faster. When we hit Black Friday or giant promotional events, we can scale up and scale down, and we have resilience. We no longer have any data centers. All of the time and effort that went into worrying about data center power or air conditioning, I now devote my team to solving problems. We now can experiment much quicker than ever before because it's cheap to fire things up and throw them away if they don't work, said Gardner. See also, what is cloud computing? Everything you need to know from public and private cloud to software as a service. And Bowden, CEO at Starling Bank, previously held CIO and CRO roles running big enterprise systems, but when she moved into the startup environment, she realized the potential of technology had changed with the arrival of the cloud. I thought I knew it all. I was very good at running anything with a budget of $1 billion, but you could be in a small office in a warehouse with a couple of people who said they were building something in the cloud, and I didn't have a clue, she said. I spent my whole career running big budgets in big banks, and now we are doing with 150 people what I used to do with 30,000 people, said Bowden. 2 years ago, Scotia Gas Networks decided it needed a completely new technology strategy, which involved mapping corporate strategy against its services and coming up with a new way to deliver, procure and operate it. The key principle is focus everything you are doing on delivering your corporate strategy. If your business case is focused around running servers cheaper than you were before, you've completely missed the point, said the company's CTO Paul Hannon. Hannon said the migration to the cloud was based on improving security and durability of services, as well as the ability to use software as a service, SaaS, to start new business opportunities faster. Based on its modeling and predictions, the company was able to fund pretty much the whole cloud migration program based on capex avoidance over a 3-year period, avoiding operating system refreshes or hardware and storage upgrades, for example. The adoption of cloud-based services does introduce new risks, absolutely, but on the flip side it reduces others, said Hannon. But there are other issues to be aware of, he warned. Elements of your business like accounts payable suddenly become operationally critical. If you move to a utility computing model, where you are paying for services as you use them. If you don't pay them, you will get cut off. Cloud computing. This is how much you'll be spending on it next year. Cloud spending rises again as